Low connection on both. Seriously? Well, we're just gonna go with it. If I cut off, I cut off, and that's just what was supposed to happen this week. Hi Karen, can you hear me and see me? Supposedly I have low connection. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, and I'm going to, good morning, take a Sabbath tomorrow. Like, I'm really working hard, hi Marilyn, to take a true Sabbath every week. Like, truly take a true Sabbath, which is not easy as an entrepreneur who's really trying to figure out what this all looks like, you know, empire-wise or whatever. Okay, so once again, I have a live Facebook teach for you all. So I am live on both my pages. So if one of them goes down, good Lord, just go to the other page. A little update on everything. I'm working to grow my, hi Laura, hi Kelly, and Nicole and Joy. I'm working to grow my YouTube channel. It has been difficult to get you all on my Facebook audience over there. So I really ask that you go over there and subscribe. We're working on getting monetization. Because mama needs to pay some bills, right? So, so I just did something huge yesterday and it sparked this topic for, hi Kristen, for this week's live Facebook teach. So you all know that I do Therapy Thursdays. I've been doing that for a while at this point. I added Take Care Tuesdays not too long ago, and, unbeknownst to me, and God had another plan, I have now added Faith Wrestle Friday. So yesterday was my first Faith Wrestle Friday, which was, that's pretty telling actually, because literally when I was closed captioning the Facebook upload, every time I said wrestle, it said Russell, and I had to change it. It said Faith Russell Friday. Whatever, I think it's a catchy name. I'm going to keep it. But of course, since I launched what many would say is pretty risky, and I was pretty scared to launch Faith Wrestle Friday, a video about my faith, that's fairly scary. And so it prompted today's topic for my live Facebook teach, because how often do we hold ourselves back and not show up as who we truly are in this world because we fear what other people will think? Like, how often do you not say what you really feel or what you really want or what you think about a situation because you allow your fear to hold you back because you project your fear into someone else's mind and are fearful of what they're going to think about you? Because here's the deal, like I've talked about in many of my videos, there's no amount of perfection that you can be to prevent you from being judged, shamed, or criticized or blamed in this world, and even by people who love you. So how often do you hold yourself back? Yeah, Amy, I do that every day. Yep. I think a lot of people are holding themselves back. And so there's a couple things that I could teach on when it comes to this topic. I mean, obviously, Michelle, really? So weird. No, it's not weird. That's God. Michelle was just talking about this with a friend yesterday. So like, whose opinions really matter in your life? Because when my new friend Christy challenged me to make my work about Jesus, and I was like, I think I could do Faith Wrestle Friday. And I was like, no way, I cannot do that. My audience will not receive that. Half my audience will not receive that. And it reminded me of whose opinions really matter. And this is a question that we talk about in the Rising Ever Upward curriculum. When you come do a workshop with me, we talk about this. It's one of the sessions in Brené's work. Like, not all of your guys' opinions matter to me. Like, because if I was trying to please everyone in my audience, all of my people on Twitter, all of my people on Instagram, all of my people on both my Facebook pages, all of my people on YouTube, like, I would never show up as myself. I would be paralyzed in fear of trying to please everybody. And this is so true for women. I shared this in my last workshop. Like, women wear people pleasing and caretaking as a badge, and it's not. It's a way that you don't show up in this world as yourself. It's a way that you attempt to not be shamed, blamed, criticized, or judged in this world. We cannot people please. We cannot please everybody in our lives, because when we're doing that, we are sacrificing us, our truth. And so like, I can't, that's that whole different, this is a Brene quote. So I share this, especially in my Plexus business when I train teams on this, but like, I care very much about what my audiences think about me. I care. And you need to care about what people think too. Because if you lose your capacity to care about what people think, you lose your capacity to connect with them. If I don't care at all what people think about me, I will not be able to connect with them. Like my fear about yesterday and launching Faith Wrestle Friday, whatever. Like that was up in me. One, because it's probably the enemy. Two, it's shame in my old stories that I'm telling myself. But three, I do care what my audience thinks about me because I am connected with them. I have relationships with them, friendships with them. They help me grow. I help them grow. However, I cannot be defined by what you think of me. Because again, if I am defined by what you think of me, I lose my capacity for courage. I lose my capacity to show up as myself, flaws and all, standing in my sacred truth, whether or not you like it. So whose opinions really matter? So that's one teach from Brene, is the whole like caring about what people think versus being defined by what people think. Then in the Rising Strong curriculum, like when you actually come do a workshop, I look so much tired on one phone than I do on the other. I'm only on my Slim. I have not had coffee yet. Anyways, butterfly. What the assignment that we do on criticism in Hi Jenny, the assignment that we do on criticism in the Rising Ever Upward work is, it's such an interesting assignment. Literally, there's a 1-inch box on the page, 1-inch box, and you are allowed to write names of people whose opinions really matter to you in that 1-inch box. You're not allowed to write really small. You're not allowed to write outside the box. It's a 1-inch box. And so when I do this training, like for example, with my Plexus team, like I don't care if you're even at the top of a network marketing company, the opinions of thousands of people on your team don't matter to you. Like they are not the ones who really matter to you. If you are a boss at a huge corporation, same thing. Like my Facebook audience, not every single person. So like it is that 1-inch box. And why we have you do that is because at the end of the day, who are your people? Who are your people that see you, that love you with your flaws because of your vulnerabilities and imperfections, not in spite of them or despite of them. They love you because of them. Who are those people that reflect back to you what you need to work on and what you need to hold on to? Like, who are those people that challenge you and love you well? They're not hundreds of them. It's names that fit in a 1-inch box. That's it. It is that difference of caring versus being defined. That is always the question in the Brene Brown stuff that we do. Like, they're not in the arena. I don't know how many times I say that. Like, I miraculously have not gotten a horrible comment yet on Faith Wrestle Friday. I will get them, and I'm sure if I checked my numbers, I had some people unfollow me. And that's okay. They're not in the arena. The arena is always going to have people in it that only buy the cheap seats. They sit at the top of the arena and they hurl criticism and judgment and blame. But they are not willing to get up on that stage with you and stand in their sacred truth and support you in yours. They're not in the arena with you. They're not on that stage. They're not showing up. Who in your life is in your arena? Who are your people? And it's not everybody. It can't be. That's impossible. And that doesn't mean that we're not connected with all those people that love us, right? Like, I have a huge tribe at this point. I am undone every day by my tribe. My tribe grew so much yesterday, and it was so overwhelming. And yet, I can't please all of them, because then I will never, ever be able to stand in my sacred truth and be true to me. So my best quote in all of this, in fact, I'm trying to make a t-shirt with this quote, especially for my workshop, my Rising Ever Upward reunion coming up. I'm not having good luck in making this t-shirt. I probably need to talk to Christy about that. My favorite quote, I have no idea where I came up with this. It's been a while that I came up with this, but your perception of my story does not change my truth. When you are finding yourself getting tripped up and stuck and being defined by what people think, and that you are caring too much about what people think, and it is that fear is holding you back from being who you really are, you need to make that your mantra. Your perception of my story does not change my truth. Because like we've talked about a lot, and in the 4 agreements and all of those things, your response to me is more about you than it is about me. Just like my response to you is more about me than it is about you. I'll be honest with you, I rewatched my TED Talk yesterday. My Donut Effect TED Talk. So I checked my numbers. They're not awesome. Whatever. But damn, that's a good TED Talk. I love that TED Talk. And we would have so much freedom if we reminded ourselves of this truth, of our truth, and truly showed up in our world, so I also tease a little bit of a surprise in this, because I had a surprise yesterday. Scary. God showed up, in so many ways. The surprise in all of this work is that if you are brave enough, which you are brave enough, you simply just have to harness it. If you are brave enough to show up in this world as your vulnerable self, authentic, owning all the parts of your story, flaws and all, you'll be surprised by who may come into that tiny 1-inch box. They only come into your life, though, if you really show up. They don't if you don't show up as yourself. You have to show up. You have to live your life in an authentic way. Know who your audience is. Yep, absolutely. Vulnerability without boundaries is not vulnerability. Not everybody has earned the right to hear my story. Just because I live super transparent doesn't mean that you all know my most intimate details of my life. But the surprise that came out of God, there's so many surprises. Thank you, God. One of the surprises that came out of yesterday was that when you do take that risk, when you really show up as your whole self, you'll risk being criticized. And you'll be so surprised by who does show up. And who says, me too. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to go on this journey with you, because I'm in it too. And holy hell, we're not supposed to do this shit by ourselves. We're not. Lastly, whose opinions really matter? Are you making sure that you're asking yourself what your truth is? And where is your higher power? Because the person whose opinion really mattered to me, and it's not really a person, but it's God. And at the same time, here's a little bit of that permission of the and. He loves me, flaws and all, always. He's big enough to handle my anger with him some days, and the doubt and things like that. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I am shining his light into this world, which that is the light of someone who loves you unconditionally. So I didn't really think I was going to say that. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Don't sorry about that. Okay. Dang it, I cry on every Facebook Live. All right, that's what I got. I'm not going to read your comments because I'm going to cry more. And I really want my coffee, my bulletproof coffee. So I will respond to your comments with my thumbs. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It means more than means a lot. Please go over to YouTube and subscribe, and please share those videos with people that you love. I got some really exciting stuff coming out. Lots of things in the pipeline that I'm excited about. So make sure to follow on Tuesdays for Take Care Tuesday, and Thursdays for Therapy Thursday, and Friday for Faith Wrestle Friday. Because God's up to something, and yeah. So thank you. Make it a great weekend. Stay warm and safe. I think it's like literally snowing in most of the middle of the country. And yes, we know that you Californians or people on the West Coast have flowers. We love you anyways. I love you all. Thank you for being here.